suggest all three of you, or I'm not drunk. I swear. Both of you.
All three.
Both of you to go look up Nina Simone's "Feeling Good." It's a fucking beautiful song.
Nina Simone.
Nina Simone, "Feeling Good."
Actually, I might have actually listened to this person before.
Her voice sounds extremely masculine, and what like I had heard this song and then I looked her up. I'm
You
like,
said
oh,
she's
shit,
a 1950s blues singer?
1930s jazz. I'm sorry.
1930s jazz.
Okay.
No, 60s jazz.
60s.
Right.
I think.
Software.
Yeah, I think I just ordered a CD of hers from my mom.
Let's refresh this really fast. The
There we.
that's just going. Okay, I've got my little holding screen here.
Okay, so let's see. Where's the stream so I can see it?
Don't update. Here, let's go to.
Well, do we have a thing for locked and loaded, like an image? Yeah. Oh, you're live right now.
Yeah, I can like throw some text onto this one in Paint. That won't be too hard. What I'm trying to figure out now is
Work in progress. Just throw locked and loaded work in progress on.
Yeah, WIP. Buck, have you thought a little bit more about the this suggestion that I had made with the render?
I have. It'd be easy to do. I don't think I could get one. Words. Trying to type and talk, it does not work.
Sorry.
Fuck. I don't know if I could get a figure for pig.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Like if I thought about having like for a splash screen or an intro screen, I've got like a 3D like my 3D avatar. I got one for Pav, and then I don't know if I can find a pig asset. I have sunglasses. I'm sure I could find a graduation cap somewhere.
I mean, it's not. It's kind of. I'd be a little disappointed if you weren't able to find a 3D pig somewhere.
Well,
I'd be shocked
I think
too.
he's looking. I think he's looking for like a what's that term? Anamorphic pig.
Oh, there's
Anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic. Yeah, no luck there.
Use an orc. Use a D&D style orc instead then.
Okay.
Because the D&D orcs, they were modeled on
pigs.
On anthropomorphic pigs.
And what's the site you normally use there, Buck?
It's the Daz 3D homepage, or I use Renderosity.
Renderosity. Daz 3D. Oh, wow! There's one of Wonder Woman. Holy shit.
Well, that's probably custom done stuff. I don't think there's actually assets for that. This is exactly what we need to use. Pig, I have found. I'll put it. Found your avatar.
You know, I don't think it'd be very hard for me to find out where you live and beat you to death with your own shoe. But I do appreciate your humor.
Well, you're safe. It's not on sale.
$134. Holy crap!
All right, what about that?
100. What? What are you looking at?
Look down at the bottom of it. Actually, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, just get some sunglasses. Put the graduation cap on it.
Give it a piercing.
True.
Just for the hell of it.
Would actually no. Okay, so would this work better? This looks less fat, more muscular.
found this.
Too
Didn't
much
even know
hair.
this was a thing.
Oh, I clicked on the wrong one.
We linked the same
just-
damn thing.
Oh,
The
you
same
did.
damn
You totally
thing.
did.
Do I have a lot of... I think I can make some G3 clothing fit on a G1
You said-
figure.
What about?
Um,
Actually,
That
and you
shouldn't
guys,
be
you have to
too
buy
hard.
this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
how
he
about?
buys the asset. He doesn't buy the render. That's the difference.
Right.
Okay, how about?
How about that?
I think I've got... Do I have
How
G8
about this
mail?
one?
I think I've got G8 mail.
Oh, that works.
Yeah,
That's
I've got G2 mail. That'd be easy.
I like that one. That one's a little bit more.
it has more personality, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's got more personality to it.
Makes you kind of look like makes it kind of look more like a Hulk from like Hulk Planet
Uh huh.
or Planet Hulk or
Planet Hulk.
Yeah, I don't read fucking Marvel.
And
I
the
just don't
hairstyle
read.
is a little bit similar to mine, my current one, except I don't, mohawk it.
Wait. Do you shave the sides of your head?
I shave, yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
All the hair on the top of my head I'm growing it out, and the sides of my head are shaved like a fade.
Podium.
A fade. Okay, I have the full undercut, which is broken.
No, I
M4
mean,
and G2
yeah,
are practically
undercut.
the same
I have an
figure.
undercut. It's just it's not long yet.
I have my hair about. Actually, I think I can show you what I'm going for, but it's similar to what I do.
It doesn't come with that hair asset. I'd have to find that separately.
Oh, really? That's sad. Why
Yeah,
would
that
they-
is fair.
All right, so this
Gotta make
is
money
actually
somehow.
this is actually what I'm going for. With my hair, it's not that long yet, but it's close.
No, ideally, I'd want to wait for that
Yeah,
to go on sale.
that's
and I can
actually
pick it up.
exactly what my hair does.
Yep, mine too.
Except it's just, again, it's not that long.
That's kind of funny. But okay, so so that's because I'd really liked Buck's render of him just sitting by a fire in like an under subway,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I thought it would be cool if we had all three of us just sitting by a fire.
Yeah,
So-
that would be neat.
Yeah, throw in some logs or something and have like a campfire thing going. I've got assets to do that. So I've got assets to like do a campfire and then lay like 3 different logs around it. So everything would be nice and focused on the campfire. Lighting might be tricky. I'm still learning lighting, and it's very much just I'm fucking gorillaing my way through it.
Yeah, you don't use 3ds Max. You don't use the Autodesk software, which
No.
is significantly easier to light.
No, I'm
I remember the image that you sent me where the fire just looked like paper.
yeah. Yeah.
But I think that would be a solid understanding for what we're doing. I love your picture of you just sitting there with a glass, just looking at a TV screen, just like, what the fuck has this world come to? But it is just you. So I think if we had something that was all three of us, just like talking around a fire, that'd be interesting.
All right, so where the hell?
Did any of you guys play a game called Nox
No.
back in the early 2000s?
Doesn't ring a
Nox
bell.
with an X?
Yes, Nox.
So I know what it is.
So there was this scene, like when you died, depending on where you died or what killed you, it would have this ending scene where it just shows how you died or whatever. There was this one scene where if you were killed by ogres, it would show you tied to a spit with an apple in your mouth over a fire, and an ogre, I think a female ogre, testing your leg with a one of those barbecue forks, the big two-prong ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought about that. I was like, yeah, we could be sitting around a fire and we could have someone that we don't like sitting in the fire with someone who can cook testing them with a fork.
I'm trying to find it on Google Images, but
For some reason, Nox wasn't very popular. I mean, it was the last. I think it was the last.
it's an isometric game, right?
It's not a JRPG. It's an action RPG. It was very similar to Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
It had a bit better graphics, and I think it had a much better system, like leveling system than it did. But I think it was way before its time, so it didn't really do very well. But I loved the game. And that was one of the really neat things about it. It was like, so you know how Torchwood
Yes.
it was very, very lane-y.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had that open area and whatnot, but it was still very focused. It was still very laned. Right? Nox was very similar to that in how its levels were laid out. They were randomly generated, but they weren't that big open world type thing like Diablo 2 had. And I think that's what actually got it, is it was very focused. It didn't have as many options when it came to creating your character. You only had 3 different classes. They were all guys. They were all basically the same person. It's just the story was told differently depending on which class you chose. You had a Beastmaster, you had a Wizard, and you had a Warrior. It was cool. It was a very fun game. But I think it was done by Westwood Studios, and I think that's what actually drew my brother and I to the game, because we were big Westwood fans. We loved Command and Conquer. We loved Diablo, but we really loved Command and Conquer as well.
Command and Conquer is a fantastic game.
Yeah, it is. Up until Command and Conquer 4.
No, I would 100%.
It's like even 3, Tiberian Wars was amazing.
I actually stuck to the Tiberian Saga.
Yeah, so did I.
I didn't really veer off into the generals or the Red Alert.
I didn't like generals at all, and Red Alert was basically the Tiberian Wars, just different resources and rewritten history.
Right.
So I didn't really play the Red Alerts that much. The story itself didn't really attract me, but I really liked the Tiberian Wars ones. Those were amazing. Tiberian Sun was just freaking gold.
That and Firestorm. Was it Firestorm?
Yes, it was Firestorm.
Firestorm was fantastic. The Cabal thing was just that. It was. You know, funny story about Tiberian Sun. So I had played through a lot of them. I started with Tiberian Sun, but just that.
Oh, there's a push.
Yeah, I cut my teeth on the first one when it first came out. That was my first RTS, actually.
See, I started with Myst. That's like one of the first games I ever played, and then I went to Age of Empires. I didn't discover Command and Conquer until Tiberian Sun.
My first computer game was actually Lost Vikings. It's like early Blizzard. was a very fun game. Very frustrating. It was a puzzle game. If you haven't played it, you need to download the MS-DOS shell and then give it a try. It's a very, it's huh?
That kind of stuff. I had to do that with the first Thief. I think
It was that one, and then the next one that I can remember actually sitting down and playing was Doom. Doom was very fun. I think we actually had a bootleg copy because the cheat codes were different, and the sounds that some of the I don't want to say a bootleg copy. Maybe it was like an early build.
It was probably the demo because back then.
No, I had
I had
the full game.
Oh really?
I had the full game all the way from the start to the end, right up to where it's supposed to go into Doom 2, right? But the Cacodemons made a different noise. So did the Barons and the Knights. Everything else was the same though. Like all the levels were right, all the weapons were there. But the cheat codes were different, and the noises that some of the demons made were different.
But the Command and Conquer thing, I'd played through all of them, and I had always played as Nod. I always thought, for the majority, let me finish, because I think I can hear what you're about to say. For the majority of the time, like through Tiberian Sun, Firestorm, like even into Command and Conquer 3, the rebels, no, and I
well,
was
see, here's the thing: is like I love this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's because but I thought they were the good guys, and then I got Tiberian or Command and Conquer Renegade, which was the third person
first person shooter. I loved that game.
And I walked in and I'm like, why am I playing as GDI? I don't want to play as GDI. Why am I playing as
And it gave you a much better perspective than how things happened with Nod. See, I loved the story of Cain.
I did too.
I loved the story of Nod, but I hated playing the Nod faction because I couldn't stand their units. Couldn't stand them.
I actually enjoyed Nod.
Like they had a cool base defense.
Right, the obelisk was my favorite.
They had the better base defenses, and they had some of the units were better. They had stealth, they had the obelisk, and they had flame tanks. Those were fun. But no matter what the GDI were, their play style, the way you played the game with GDI was the play style that I liked playing. Like you build an actual army and you just go freaking steamroll. That is the way to play with GDI. You don't use guerrilla tactics, you don't use harasses or anything like that. You build up this massive fucking army and just go destroy everything.
See, and that's what I did too. I just like within the first few levels of the game, I just built up a shit ton of.
Yeah, I mean that's when in the first few levels, yeah, your armies are basically stand toe to toe even. But once you start getting into tanks, it's like a medium tank can take 2 light tanks, barely, but it can. And the medium tank only costs 300 more credits than the light tank cost, right? And you were able to amass a much more solid stand-up army as GDI for less.
I probably
it became much more apparent and obvious when you got to Tiberian Wars 3. I mean, in Tiberian Sun, it was more even, right? Like that, you had the tick tanks on the Nod side, and they were faster than Titans were. They had more awesome things about them. Like a tick tank, you could literally change the way their armor was so that the Titans couldn't really hurt them, but they had to deploy in order for that to take place. The Titans, they wouldn't do as much damage as the Titans did, but they would take less damage than in the turret form than they would if they were
watching our Tesla stream.
I don't know,
We're
but it's
veering
awesome.
really off topic.
But just to get back to what I was saying, it didn't really become more so apparent until you actually got to the third one, the Tiberian Wars, where just about everything that Nod had was stupid squishy. It was all glass cannon. It was crazy. It's like all you needed was a mammoth tank and railguns, and you could steamroll and like double the amount of resources and units from the Nod. And then mix in zone troopers and APCs full of zone troopers into the mix, and it was over. It's like that was one of my favorite things to do, was just get like 7 or 8 freaking APCs, fill them with zone troopers, send them in with a bunch of the pit bulls to cover for air, and it was over. I hated the juggernauts in the third one though. It took away the whole artillery aspect of it. I actually liked the squad. Aspects of it.
Because you didn't lose troops as fast. You didn't still have it. Like very your light infantry was like.
Well, it made.
And you don't lose like 1 or 2 of them. You still had one squad of 3.
Yeah, but it tied more into how things would operate in the real world. Like you wouldn't send one soldier off. You send like a fire team cut off. So when you train, it also showed like the difference between the two groups very early on. It's like the Brotherhood of Nod, when they trained a group of the militiamen, you'd have like 9 or 10 of them, right? You train the GDI soldiers, you'd have 6, and in a straight up firefight, they were for the most part even. But it was just the Nod. They were the Zerg Rush with the infantry. They could build faster and they had more, but the GDI they could take more. They did more damage individually, and that it was a big highlight of the difference between the two groups. One is just professionally trained soldiers. The other one is a whole bunch of Antifa.
Right.
Sorry, I had to throw that dig in there.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I it was one of those things that I was me about when, like, because I was really young when I played them, very young, and so like I went back and I replayed them a lot later on, and I'm like, oh shit, Kane.
You started.
Yeah.
Kane is a cold-hearted fucker.
Yeah, and he's
if you play
religious like cult leader,
and
basically.
then you start seeing that he's not really human once you got to the end of Tiberian Sun, and then you start getting into freaking Tiberian Wars. You understand like fully that this guy's not human. He doesn't look any different than he did like 100 years ago.
Is that the time difference? I never.
That's the time difference. Yeah. Tiberian Wars, the third one, took place in 2072, 2090, somewhere around there. It's like you had to read some of the fluff that was put in there. Like, it talked about the Mammoth Mark II Walker, and it even mentions Havoc, the guy you played in Renegade.
Yeah.
Having been retired for 20 years and making comments about retiring the Walker is like a bad move. So it's little tidbits like that, and it's one of the reasons why I just love the Tiberian Wars, is because it had little throwbacks and little nods to the other games in the series, and it had a very rich universe built up around it. I loved the Skrin, by the way. It's like if I decide that I just want to go all air,
Screen.
I would always choose the Scrin. It's like
I
if I wanted to
remember when
play
you
with air
introduced them.
power, if I wanted to play with air power, it was the Scrin all the way because they just murdered everything in the air. If you were fighting someone in the Scrin, you had to kill them early or seriously build up your defenses because once they got the freaking tripods and air power, it was over. There was nothing you were going to be able to do to stop that.
Like even the SAMs we get, I remember that when like I had like SAM turrets, they'd get fucked by even just GDI.
Yeah, freaking yeah. I remember my first time playing the Tiberian Wars campaign, and the Scrin appeared, and I was like, "No way, this is awesome!" It was awesome. I mean, they've been playing up to this extraterrestrial origin for the Tiberian, but I didn't real it makes perfect sense. It's a terraforming like all the ideas that it's actually terraforming the planet. No, it's not actually terraforming the planet. It's just they're using it for fuel. They don't give a damn about your planet. They don't want to take your planet. They want the planet will get turned into by Tiberium because they want the Tiberium. I can't even remember. I think what did the Scrin actually call Tiberium? They called it Ichor, I think.
You're talking a game I have never played.
Yeah, that's one of the things that actually draws me to franchises. Keeps me coming back for more is the story behind the franchise. Like Halo's got a pretty neat story. Gears of War has a really neat story. Freaking The Witcher has a really cool story.
Good story.
Yeah.
Yes. Have you read have you read any of the books that led up to the games?
No,
Oh, they're amazing.
no, I didn't.
Real,
I've had the first two Witchers for years, but I never played them. It wasn't until 2 years after The Witcher 3 came out where I decided to be like, all right, I should go back and play them. And when I went into this, I'm like, oh shit, this almost has like a Mass Effect type thing where you load the saves and your choices make a difference. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So I have to play through 1, 2, and then 3. So I
it's worth it,
1.
dude.
1 was so bad in terms of combat. The story was interesting. They set up the characters really well. I enjoyed it, and I was
but the combat was crap.
Oh yeah, no. Ugh. I enjoyed like the fact that I got to meet the characters, and I knew that that's inherently important. Like that's like you can't jump into Mass Effect at like 2 or 3. You have to start with Mass Effect 1.
You
and then
can jump into Mass Effect around 2, and you can still really enjoy the story, but you have to start from the beginning to really get the full benefit of the story.
You don't get the same amount of connection with the character, and that's a huge part of Mass Effect story is getting that connection with the characters. And so when I went through, I beat myself like to just get through 1, and then I went to 2, and 2 so good, so fucking hard. Oh my gosh, I have never played a harder game, and I don't play hard games. Like I'm a open world RPG, like first person shooter. Those are my favorite kind. So like that's why Fallout. Like Fallout's my favorite game. I those games you can kind of work yourself through things. You get killed, you try different things, and eventually it can be a lot easier.
I get bored of the games like Fallout and freaking any of the Elder Scrolls. I get bored.
I know.
Like, okay.
I don't know why. That's my favorite style.
Like
but,
now, when you have games like Ark or Life is Feudal, I don't get bored of those. In fact, I will sink days into those and be like, all right, what's the next project?
I get 20 minutes in and wipe away. I don't know why. I can't do it. I don't know why. I like grind. I only played Rust because other people were playing it with me.
Yeah.
Like other than that, I once that whole the whole Rust thing went away, I was in the server. I was just like, nope, I don't care.
I didn't like Rust because it was toxic.
Sunny.
Most of
Sunny.
a lot of the when it comes to games like Rust or with Ark, it's a lot of it has to do with the people who are playing it, you know. And I stopped playing Ark on the official servers because I didn't like the PvP because the community was very toxic. You had to be part of a very large tribe in order to get anywhere, right? Because they just come through and oh, it has a small house and he's got like a couple of animals and let's eat it. And then they just lay waste to it. You couldn't do anything unless you spent the next 3 days solid, no sleep, just building up something that people couldn't just walk up to and destroy. And that's pretty impossible in Ark, unless you've been playing, you've put in as many hours as I have, and you know exactly how where you are on the map. You know exactly where all the good deposits are. You know exactly how to tame this and that and get all the way up to something that can actually stand up to at least a Rex. You know?
All right. No. Before you continue, before you fucking continue, hold on. Why did you give Sunny a wrench before you gave the rest of us a wrench?
Because I don't see you two in the participants list.
Take Sunny's wrench away before you.
Oh, here we go again.
Them. No, I understand, but take Sunny's wrench away before you, and then give like unfucking time out me, please. Thank you. All right, now, all right.
Can you guys? Can somebody give me the actual to the channel?
Here, I'll drop it.
There, it's right there.
Drop in show construction. Yeah. So, I found a workaround for virtual audio cable.
Okay.
If you go into hotkeys,
we've been just talking about.
I know.
Shit.
If you go into hotkeys, there's different settings for individual elements of different scenes, and I've got one that's, you know, LNL music. Well, what I have got that set up is I use the number pad to control everything. Desktop audio and mic audio are there's a mute and unmute function, and those are set to the same key. So I can just cut out all the desktop audio and mic audio and have it just be the music. And then when the music ends, I can hit the same key and music's over, we come in, and we can start talking.
So, are you able to, like, map sound bites to keys as well? Because you know that the ba 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 da that sound.
I could probably.
If I have the individual file, I can add. So what I've got set up on this idle screen is the music. The source is not a browser source. It's an individual file. So it runs on its own little loop. Its own little.
I get it.
So
circuit.
give Pig a wrench.
Okay.
And then give it back to Sunny. Because I don't want. I was just making sure we had our wrenches before Sunny could do anything.
Pav, I think you lost your butt touching.
Oh no, I know.
Privileges.
I already see this. I already see it.
But so yeah, I could totally set up a soundboard with different keys.
That is a topic to explore another day.
Did someone say Alex Jones soundboard?
I have one.
Thank you.
I have one. Why can't I still can't fucking post anything. God damn it. It was first.
500 seconds. 500 seconds, buddy.
Can I undo this?
No, you actually. I don't think you can.
I can only put you in timeout again.
No, don't.
No, I'm not going to. That's the only option it gives me. What time is it? 6:40. Shit, I gotta get dinner going. But no, like I can. Then all I have to do is click on another scene to transition to the main screen once we get that all formatted. Okay. And we have an intro screen for now.
Okay. Is that the one we're looking at right now?
Yeah, and I can change the text.
Okay.
That's not hard.
Actually,
least-
under construction actually seems kind of funny. I like keeping it that way.
Yeah, we can leave that for the time being until we get that scene that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Hold
I'll
here, hold on.
keep an eye on those assets and see if.
I have this.
See, I can get that as an MP3, and just have it run. Well, as soon as I hit a key, and then I can also mute the music. I can mute the individual track too.
You are fake news.
Interesting.
All
right, so
how about we get back to the topic on hand because we've gotten way off topic. I love talking video games with you, Pig, but
Vidya.
we are here for a reason. So as we work through this, so right now we have scene transitions from what you said.
Yep.
You have figured out a workaround to create music. Actually, you know what you could just do is you could go in and
quick idea I'd like to run by you guys. Have y'all heard the song? What's it called? It's by No Credit. It's Bearings Band. It's the Summer Sun.
Yes.
You've heard that one?
I haven't heard.
I love that song.
I have his album.
Do you think he would give us permission to use that as our outro?
Let's see. Let me go listen to it. It's called what?
Summer Sun, I think it is.
Should I type in 3? Bearing songs. Sun is
Sing Summer. It's called Sing Summer. Here, I'll post it. We have a loyal audience of 6. You think he would actually like be cool with us using that? Would he give us permission to do that?
I wish we could just stop listening.
I can see
Which
if
one?
I can.
Still listening.
Still
It's
listening?
my favorite song by him.
Oh yeah, he's pretty good. He's very talented.
Yes, I love his guitar work. His riffs are just really good, and Still Listening is a fantastic song. I used to be in his Discord.
I joined his Discord for like 5 seconds and was like, nope, and left because there was just so much going on.
Okay, so question. What would be the best way to do it?
Send him an email.
I thought he had an alternate Twitter.
Yeah, he started it. He's got a cousin named Clancy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Just be like, yeah, I'm trying to find the fucking Twitter account.
Is the music still going?
No.
Wait, they can hear us?
Oh wait, that's right. The stream is like 30 to 45 seconds behind us.
Why is the music going?
No, it shouldn't be going. I don't want them to hear us. Like, if somebody wants to tune in and listen to our music, sure. But
Double check the podcast. That resets it. Okay, now I've got the music muted.
that's okay.
Okay, that puts us back on the stream.
Here, put up "Still Listening" as the song that's playing. See if we get a takedown notice.
Well, that'd be desktop audio. I'd have to have the file itself.
I can probably send that to you.
What's the matter, babe?
So,
Your head hurts? Have you taken some ibuprofen or some aspirin?
6:45. Fuck, I better get dinner going.
Yeah.
Why don't
In
you
about an hour, I have
some,
a meeting with the guy that.
Take some ibuprofen.
Okay, so what we've concluded is we can do music. We have transitions.
We have an idea for an opening scene while we're making sure we've got everything ready instead of just, you know, being late.
Yep.
Let's see. We need to get in touch with Bering and make sure we actually have permission to use his. Because I know Ranting Monkey has permission to use.
Days Like Today is the song.
Yeah, Days Like Today. That's a good song too.
Yeah.
I think there's another YouTuber that uses his music as well. But it is important to get permission directly from for it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to start using it and him being like
you fucking cunts.
We didn't at least, irritated that we didn't ask for his permission or anything.
Yeah.
No, you'd want to ask permission from anyone, but yeah. So I will contact Waffle at some point. I think if we were to bring Waffle on as a guest, again that would probably be like maybe even a month away, so that we have time with that. So like the days like today would be days that we'd go over stuff like what we were planning on doing last Tuesday or Thursday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Questions.
We were thinking about Wednesday.
Questions thing, and so unfortunately we didn't really get to that today.
That's all right. We did important stuff.
Yes. And
like talk about games and things like that.
And get an intro screen set up that kind of works.
Yeah, Buck was actually being productive.
Now, what I can't do is start and stop music. So
okay, you have to let it. So
I can mute it
actually,
and I can restart it. So
you can mute it. You're probably gonna have to mute it and then let it play out.
Right. So like the outro music. Ooh, that's gonna be tricky. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We got the intro music.
So are you wait, hold on. So you're doing that through Discord, or I mean OBS,
Through
right?
OBS, yeah.
So you're playing a song. Have you gone in and singled out like Discord's audio within OBS? Is that what you're doing? You're going in. You're having it play through OBS, like you're setting up almost like a web page through OBS.
I'm having
and
the
then
music.
Turning us down.
I am having the music play through OBS, and I'm considering I'm using how OBS picks up both my microphone and the desktop audio. I have the mute unmute keys bound to the same thing. So when I mute myself for the intro screen, it also mutes the desktop. So all the sound that would be coming from the browser. From Discord, any sound but the music is cut out until I press the key again.
So we couldn't like play a video through it until that song finished. Otherwise, we'll get the song and the video at the same time.
Well, I can mute the song early. So, and I can restart it, but like the outro music, I can have that as a source, but it would start playing at the same time as the intro music. I think. It's weird. I'm kind of. Let me try switching.
Well, it's a work in progress.
See if this does anything. Okay, if I switch.
So we did find out that we can live stream though.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Like last time when we tried and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And I would suggest you guys, and I'm gonna do this as well, start updating people on, because now that we have a set schedule, we can start telling people about it sooner. And we're not telling them like 10 minutes before we go to the live stream. And I think that's been a huge part of our
Audience problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Where sometimes we'll have like 15 people watching.
Sometimes we'll have
People
like 10.
watching.
Yeah. I'll start spreading the link around beforehand. So yeah, when I switch away to the other screen, like if I switch back to the idle screen, the music starts up again. It's when I go back to the idle screen. But if I go to the article screen, which is kind of the formatted page, then I think the music cuts out because there's no, yeah, it shouldn't be picking it up.
Okay, here let's test out like from my end what's happening.
Okay, so I'm gonna unmute the music and I'm gonna get it started. So do you have you can hear the stream? Hello?
Hang on a second. I had to get some trees chopping.
Okay.
And unmuting.
So currently I'm hearing us talk.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got
I
the
can hear
music
it.
going? Tell me when the music kicks in. And then I'll switch to another.
There it
Music
goes.
is kicked in.
Okay. And I'm gonna switch to the other screen. Is the music still going when I
We can
switch to the
hear
main
you.
screen?
We
We
can
can
just
hear people.
barely hear us,
Yeah.
but that's not that bad.
No, then
Screen
I
switch.
just
So we're seeing the other screen now.
and is the music still going?
Yeah, no, music stopped.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That tells me what I need to know. So, as far as hearing, I can just turn the desktop audio up, which will be easy here. Let's go back over here. Mute the music. Turn the desktop audio bar up. And I can turn the music down. So that should make things easier. I swear I know what I'm doing.
So the voice audio is kind of quiet, and it's all of our voices. It's not just yours.
Huh, okay.
Never mind, it is yours.
It's mine? Like it's on my
Yeah,
end?
it's yours.
Yeah, we can.
Because I just boosted the desktop audio to something higher. I usually have it lower when I'm... Well, it shouldn't affect anything when I'm streaming games, though.
It shouldn't.
Is that... Okay. There's the problem.
What's up?
So the desktop audio slider is connected to any scene I do. So if I turn the desktop volume down for like if I'm streaming a game, so I can be heard over, you know, shooting Ukrainians. I just have to remember to turn it back up when I do we do Locked and Loaded. So.
Oh, okay. Or you could build two separate OBSs for different streams. One for playing games, and for when we're streaming.
Well, I do have
doing the
I
podcast.
do have two separate scenes for that. But the desktop audio, that is what I use, and that is what is shared among all scenes, and I
Okay.
don't know if I can change that.
Okay.
If I can, I'll try to figure out how to do it. If I can't, well, I'll just have to not forget.
That's one way to put it.
All right, it is 7. I was supposed to have dinner ready like fucking half hour ago.
All right.
Shit.
I think we can end things there for the night then. Because Pav, you also got to get on the road too.
Yeah. He just texted me. He's like, "You want to move it up to 7:30?"
Okay.
There you go. So, well, hey, this has been constructive nonetheless. So, and I'm learning about OBS. So,
All right, you guys. This has been good. And so why don't we keep consistent with our set schedule as of, so if we're going to meet this Friday.
We can talk
I
about
say
which games we want to do. And...
Yeah, I say we keep this Friday also as a construction and not have it, and have the weeks being the same. But yeah.
Sounds good. All right.
All right.
Kill the